Hey, welcome back. This is Greg McCone for Fraser Valley Climate Action, doing a review, part 7 of Nat Bullard's 2025 presentation on decarbonization or slide deck. Uh, Very appreciative of the work Nat's done to pull all this together and create such great visuals that give us a picture of what's going on. It's an excellent snapshot on the world. We left off on this slide talking about LNG in the pipeline, that new capacity is arriving. And I was talking about how that maybe is a bad thing because of the way that methane leaks. Um, LNG, of course, is just refrigerated methane, nothing natural about it. And so the energy required to refrigerate that methane is actually a significant portion of the energy that's in that gas in the first place. So you wouldn't want to waste the gas. So what do? You build clean hydro to um, to refrigerate the gas. So in that way, you've got clean energy going to make dirty energy possible. And so people get hung up on the term natural. It just means they didn't have to use steam to force it out of coal. Natural gas, it's just under the ground. But the way it's extracted with fracking and pipelines and all those things, there's nothing natural about it. So, anyways, it's coming. Um, of course, the oil and gas industry is heralding this as a huge positive, and people are throwing money at it and making money on it. The problem is it causes climate change, and there are some studies now that suggest that it's just as bad as coal. So this is a really nasty kick in the teeth if that turns out to be true. But we can't just blindly accept everything the oil and gas industry puts on our TVs in between the football game, right? So we'll keep working on this. Okay, so there's LNG in the pipeline, 50% growth. Ugh. LNG liquefaction capacity could expand by 50% from 2024 to 2028. Okay, so it looks like we're in for more of it. Now, there's a couple interesting things you probably want to know about LNG. We could take a history lesson from Australia when they connected their natural gas up to the LNG plants to put it on ships and to export it. When they exposed their natural gas to world markets, the reason that companies want to do this is they can make more money on the world market in other countries than they can domestically. And so it's worth their financially, it's worth them doing it. The problem is once they can start selling it um, on ships to other countries, it'll pay more money for it. Why would they sell it to you for less? They don't owe you anything. It's not your gas. You didn't build the pipeline. Um, you might have even protested against it. So the problem is that it exposes the domestic market to world prices. And so in Australia, their experience was that their prices doubled. They went significantly higher. So if you were a pensioner and you were, doing okay and paying your bills and heating your house and all those things, suddenly your gas bills double. So that's not fear mongering, that's history. And so we're not hearing this in any of the promotional materials from either the British Columbia government or other governments that are promoting LNG. We're certainly not hearing that there's going to be a price spike coming from the LNG proponents themselves who are building these huge plants. This is a big problem. This is going to really kick people where it counts in terms of affordability. People say they don't have time to talk about climate change because of the affordability crisis. Well, this is driving things to be unaffordable. This is going to be a huge problem. Plus, everybody's rushing these LNG plants. The supply is increasing. What happens when the supply increases? The price drops, right? So some of the financing for these plants may be suspect because as the production grows, um, as the available LNG on the market grows, the profitability of that should drop. I mean, we can only hope that helps mitigate the first problem, but I don't know what's going to happen. Europe and Asia are importing differently. LNG exports to Europe declined, while Asia imports increased in the last little bit. Good to know. Global lithium resources have more than doubled since 2018. Where are you going to find all the lithium for those batteries for those cars? Right? Well, they're finding it. When something's valuable, people tend to find it. Lithium is actually pretty common. Um, Off the peak, but still elevated. Am I thinking of something else? Maybe I am. Sorry. Um, The International Monetary Fund's Energy Transitions Metals Index is down from its peak, but higher than the 2010s. So, okay. So the value of these transition metals, maybe part of that is a switch to lithium iron phosphate batteries, which don't require the cobalt, don't require the nickel, those sorts of things, um, because we can get by with lower density batteries. Could be rare but no longer rarefied. Cute. Lots of good puns, Nat. Rare earth carbonate prices are down significantly from their spike. Well, that's how the market works, right? Things get more expensive, more people want in the game, they get in the game, the prices come back down. Good. Cobalt prices have spiked 3 times a century, but they are now near their 2010 low. Hey, I bet that's the lithium iron phosphate batteries. You can get it from Tesla, you can get it from BYD. Um, Lithium iron phosphate is the standard range version of batteries if you're buying a Tesla. A down year for uranium. Interesting. People were telling me uranium was, going to the moon. I guess these small modular reactors either don't need a lot of uranium or they don't exist. One of the two. And yeah, we don't see real expansion of nuclear power, do we? Interesting. U.S. policy sparked and underwrote 100 billion plus of investment. Which nation can do the same? Okay, I don't know. Investment in batteries and solar and other loan guarantees. Okay, I don't really understand that, but good. Norvolt is a cautionary tale. Does Europe retreat from manufacturing? Who will make Europe's EV batteries? Okay, so China's going to make them if other people don't step up, and they certainly have the capacity and the expertise, the logistics, and the supply chain in place. Other places are going to have to build their supply chains. The data complex. How are we doing for time? 8 more minutes. 42% of 500. More than 200 of the S&P companies mentioned AI on earning calls. Okay, that's not exactly Center for Climate. So AI is growing. 100 billion in annual revenue. NVIDIA data centers are growing. Okay, so that might be related to increased demand for electricity, I suppose. AI adoption is extremely rapid, more rapid than the adoption of mass market internet or computers. Yep. Um, it's being used broadly across all kinds of industries. Well, yeah, I think we've kind of made a bit of a breakthrough. People are finding they can get useful work done with less effort. That's efficient. Maybe we need to think about the increased energy in those data centers might be offset by decreased labor. Um, not AI taking our jobs kind of thing, but the same labor can get more work done. So maybe we're going to see a boost in productivity. I know I'm seeing that. Uh, U.S. data center structure investment now exceeds investment in U.S. hospital buildings. Okay, the U.S. is kind of a special case there. I can't identify. Critical power, critical IT power demand could double. AI, non-AI. Okay, like AI can use a lot of electricity. Yeah, that's true. It's busy working using. Same with like color graphics when we went from black and white to color. Like that was a big jump. Um, Certainly, we've done a lot of power saving on the desktop side, and with AI, we're pushing stuff back into the data center. The nice thing about in the data center is you can control that power centrally, turn things off when they're not in use, that kind of thing. Hyperscaling and co-locating are in hyperscale. The jargon is killing me. Or co-located facilities. Okay, doesn't mean anything to me. Data centers already consume a quarter of Virginia's total electricity. And what an opportunity to power those data centers with renewables, right? If we have solar, wind, batteries, it's an opportunity for us to make sure that this new power consumption is actually being driven from clean means rather than more pollution in the local air supply for the residents to breathe, right? We don't need more coal plants. We don't need more gas burner plants. Um, let's hope. Let's hope and let's ask for it, really. Average power consumption per data center site varies widely. Yeah, okay. Uh, Data over urban residential. So it's a lot. We get it. It's a lot of power. Got it. Data centers, urban households, rural households. Yeah, fair enough. And more to come. Data centers are going. So more power demand. I get it. there's a place where they want to put a data center and it's way over what they have. Got it. Dominion's data center demand is up 9 times in 11 years. Could be 5x. Okay, so someone's predicting the power demand will go up. Yes, it will. This is why we need to continue to build out more solar, more wind. Efficiency is great if you can do it, because then you don't have to have the power. But we got to get off pollution here. Yeah. So it takes a lot of energy to train a model, and then presumably to keep calling that model and make it work takes energy. Got it. A lot of money being spent on this stuff that predicts it's going to be used. Infrastructure is typically used. This is interesting. Google's data center energy efficiency has been flat. They haven't got more efficient. They haven't found a way to do things with less energy. I don't know if that suggests lack of motivation, or that they're kind of hitting the ceiling in terms of what's theoretically possible. I don't work at Google, couldn't tell you, but I've been impressed with the savings they've done in the past. Different inferences. Inference energy intensity varies greatly. Image generation requires a lot of power, captioning less. Summarization, text generation is less. Wow, look at the difference between image generation, eh? Maybe generating images and videos is wasteful. Maybe that should cost a lot of money if people are paying for it. CapEx, telecoms, AI CapEx. Okay. Okay. So we know it's growing. The Stargate project, more AI. Increase in electricity demand is much more than data centers, right? Industry, heavy other buildings, cooling, heating. So we guys got to go for electric heat pumps. 300+% efficient. You're just moving heat back and forth. Electric vehicles, it's a winning proposition. We got to go there. Got to stop burning stuff. Controls create incentives. Very recently, in the last month, Chinese model trained on the American models, which is how these things get trained sometimes. Seems to be producing really good results with significantly less training hours. Less training hours means less energy, right? So this is the idea. If somebody has a breakthrough in terms of the smart way to make things work, and it suddenly becomes efficient. So yeah, this is just sort of technology and how it works. Big tech is making nuclear announcements. Well, we know nuclear takes forever to get put in place. Cold chains, inadequate refrigeration wastes billions of tons of food. Yeah, that's really dumb. We shouldn't be letting food spoil because the refrigeration turns off. Fruits, vegetables, meat. Hey, look on the right side. Look at the CO2 emissions in billions of tons. You see the outlier there? Yeah, it isn't fruits and vegetables. It's meat. Yeah, it suggests that if we eat less meat, then we're going to have like significantly lower CO2 emissions. What this chart doesn't show you is that beef, as it's traditionally raised in the United States in feedlots, and perhaps other methods as well, is 6 times as polluting as chicken, and way more than pork. So you can still eat meat, just choose chicken or pork rather than beef, and your CO2 emissions go down. Oh, we're running out of time getting to the end here. Oh, plastics. Fewer fats, carbs, and meats. People are eating less because of these new medications. And let's leave it there. This is the end of part 7 of Fraser Valley Climate Action's review of Nat's awesome 2025 slide deck on decarbonization.